Most runners don't actually realise that they're sabotaging their runs before they even start running. Eating the wrong foods, causing you to feel slow, sluggish, lethargic, and just crashing halfway through your run. Your stomach doesn't feel right, your legs feel quite heavy, your energy's low, and you just don't enjoy the session. But if you guys stop making the mistakes that I'm going to talk you through in this video, and you start making the right decisions with your nutrition that I'll also talk you through, not only will your run start to become way more enjoyable, but your performance will absolutely skyrocket. So in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to be eating, how much to be eating, the common mistakes to avoid, and how to get the most out of your nutrition to optimize your performance with your running. And make sure to watch to the end of this video to get something that I've actually designed you guys for free. I'll be showing the exact foods to be having, different meal ideas, and almost just recipes created for you guys to maximize your nutrition, to fuel your output, and start hitting more PBs. But just quickly, if you haven't seen me before, my name's Jacob Smith. I'm an online fitness coach. I specialize in helping men to lose body fat, transform their physiques, but also to help them to hit new running PBs. I've helped over 150 men in the last 2 years to nail running PBs, get fitter, stronger, healthier, and improve the way they look as a byproduct. And I also started as someone who could barely run. I wasn't born as like an athlete. I've really had to work hard to get to where I am now. I used to be someone that could run for half a mile at maximum. My shins were cramping. I was overweight. I was 4 stone heavier than what I am now. I felt crap and I was living an unhealthy lifestyle. Fast forward to today, 1st of April 2026. I've just hit a 37:07 10K at Wolves 10K the other day, and my 5K is 18:10 that I hit a couple of months ago too. So definitely improving my running, definitely improving my own training, my physique, and I've helped loads of people do the same thing, and that's my mission with this channel. So if that aligns with you, your goals, and what you're trying to work towards, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. It massively helps. And yeah, that's enough of me talking. Let's dive into the video. So why does fueling actually matter? Surely you can just go for a run. It can't be that hard. You'll be fine, right? Now, some people think that, but here's the problem. I'm not going to say nutrition is going to go and be the thing that's going to allow you to win all your next races, right? Most people I work with are 30-minute 5Ks, 60-minute 10Ks, that sort of range. But you can definitely mess up a race, completely ruin it, or have terrible training sessions and limit yourself and your potential if your nutrition isn't optimized. That's why in this video I want to talk you through all the mistakes that people make, the common ones, and show you the fixes that you need to be making so that you guys can take your running to the next level and actually enjoy it. And when you start taking your fueling seriously and you start to give your body what it needs to perform at its best, running becomes more enjoyable, your performance increases, you get fitter, healthier, stronger, and you actually enjoy the whole process. And I think that's so important for sustainable results. So let's dive in with some common mistakes. These are the things I see people doing wrong. People focus not enough so on their carbohydrates. That's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2 would be that people eat too much and too close to their training windows. Mistake number 2. Mistake number 3 would be the complete opposite of that. Some people do not fuel anywhere near enough for their training sessions. They eat maybe 5 hours before. They eat nothing in that window between 5 hours and their training session. They go out for a run and wonder why they feel flat. You're having the wrong types of foods and you're paying for it during your training session. So here's what I want you to understand first. Carbohydrates is going to be your body's best friend. Carbohydrates are your body's preferred source of energy for activity of a high intensity. So when you're doing a training session, carbs is going to be what your body's going to require the most. If you're limited in how much carbohydrates you've been consuming, both on that day and days prior, then performance is going to be limited as a byproduct. I want you to think about it like a car. If you were going on a super long journey, we can relate this to maybe a long run or a long, difficult training session. Would you go out with a car that's full of fuel, you got a full tank, or would you go for that car journey with a car that's maybe got one bar of fuel or it's on red? Which one would you choose? I'd probably go with the one with the full tank, right? You wouldn't, it's silly, right? It's the same when you're running. Why are you gonna go for a hard training session or a long run when your body isn't fueled and you're just going on a 1 bar tank? So when you start making this fix with your carbohydrates, that's tip number 1 that's gonna massively improve your nutrition. So you understand the car analogy, you understand why it's important. Now, how many carbs should you be having and what types of carbs should you be consuming? Because there's loads of different things you could be doing here, right? So here's what I want you to understand first. What I like to do and what I get my clients to do is 3 to 4 hours before a training session. That's when you want to be having a high carbohydrate meal with moderate amount of protein. For me, I normally have around 25-30 grams of protein, and for reference, I weigh 72 kilo. And then I'll have very low fats and low fiber. So when I keep fats low and fiber low, the reason I do that is because fats and fiber are going to slow down digestion. So when we're trying to maximize digestion and absorption in order to utilize that energy and for it to become available for our training session in 3-4 hours, the last thing we then want to do is slow our digestion down, because that's just going to mean that we're giving our body another reason to struggle to digest it and maybe get to that training session and just not feel great because your body's still trying to digest food. So fiber low, fats low, protein moderate, and then carbohydrates high. In terms of quantity of carbohydrates, I would typically go for around 1.5 to 2 grams of carbohydrates per kilo of body weight. So I might have maybe 100 to 140 grams of carbs in that meal 3 to 4 hours before a training session. A good option that I would like to go for is like a bit of a staple within my diet. It might sound just a little bit boring, but let's say I'll go tuna, I might have some pasta, and then with that I might just have like some cucumber, something like that as an example. Low volume, so it's not a massive portion in my belly, because that's something to consider as well. You don't want to be eating absolutely loads and feeling bloated. High carbohydrates, lean protein source, which means fat stay low, protein stays moderate. That's a great meal that's going to fuel me 3.5 to 4 hours before a session. Another option, you could just swap that tuna, maybe put some chicken. Other things I like to do as well, I like to have foods like beetroot as well before. Beetroot, spinach. These are foods that are high in nitrates, which is super important for your performance as well and can massively help. But the main goal here, guys, is pick a carbohydrate source, which is going to be low in fiber. So don't go for something that's going to have a lot of carbs, but also a lot of fiber. Keep the protein moderate, keep the fats low, and keep the fiber down. That's 3 to 4 hours before a training session. And also, guys, what's super important to note is the more demanding a session for your body and the more output required within a session, the more energy you guys need to be consuming. The more demanding a session on your body, the more carbohydrates you need, the more calories you need. That's natural. The more you're going to expend, the more you need to intake. If you're going for these really hard training sessions that are challenging for your body, the last thing you want to be doing is underfueling by limiting the amount of calories you're having and limiting the carbohydrates. That goes back to that car analogy. That's just going to mean that your fuel's not full. Your tank's not full. Your fuel's too low. Your tank's too low. So that's the way I want you guys to think about it when it comes to demanding sessions. And that's the way I plan a meal 3 to 4 hours before a key training session. Now, what I do next is 30 to 60 minutes before a training session, I would have another meal, but this time it needs to be smaller. You've got less time to digest it, okay? So if you're going to have a big meal, which a lot of people do, a big meal, good amount of protein, lots of fiber, big portion, it's going to sit in your stomach. Your body's going to be trying to digest that meal whilst your body also wants to have blood flow towards working muscles for your run. Then all that happens is your body is fighting for that blood flow. Does it go to the digestive system to aid in the digestion process of the meal just eaten, or does it go to the working muscles that are needed for your running, okay? And that's when you start to have stomach problems on your run. So as you guys get closer towards the session, do not be having the big, heavy, dense meals. Be having foods that are going to digest fast into your bloodstream, high in carbohydrates, that's the main focus, low in fiber, low in protein, low in fat. So all you need to think about is high carbs, and that's it. Options, for me, I like to go for maybe a slice of sourdough, honey on top, banana, works great. That's what I'll go for. Maybe I'll swap it for jam. Maybe I'll have just 2 bananas, depends on how I'm feeling. Maybe I'll have a couple of energy gels, other options. But of course, energy gels, be careful with them. Everyone reacts different to them. And there's different types of energy gels, right? So be mindful, because some of them can upset your stomach, and that's not what we're wanting. But you can trial and test them, see what works, see what doesn't. And then when you find something that works, stick with it. So we focused on that before a session. High carbohydrates, low fiber, low protein, low fat. That's what's going to allow your body to then have fuel available for your session without causing digestive distress. Ultimately, guys, carbs is going to be fuel. Please do not stick with low carbohydrate diets before a demanding session that requires a good amount of output from yourself. If you do that, all you're doing is limiting your performance, and your training is not going to be as enjoyable. In terms of quantity for the carbohydrates as well, you might be thinking, well, how much do I have? Again, listen to your body. You don't want to be eating to a point of feeling full. You don't really want that. You just want a little bit of a top up. For me, I like to go around 0.8 to 1.2 grams of carbohydrates per kilo of body weight. So I'm 72 kilo, so maybe I'll have around 70 grams of carbohydrates in that meal prior. Again, when I use things like jam, honey, and maybe even dried fruit, it's so easy to get high amounts of carbohydrates, but keep the portion size really small. If the portion size is big, you're going to feel heavy, you're going to feel crap during your run. So I would start aiming for that. Ideally, we'd look at the fat-free mass that you've got, and we'd go off that number based on that. Because if you're weighing 100 odd kilo, okay, you're not going to need 100 odd kilo worth of carbohydrates if you're carrying around 40 kilo of unwanted and unneeded body fat. So that's something to take into consideration too. So if you're quite overweight, don't feel like you've then got to go with that. Maybe go towards that lower end. And ultimately, listen to your body. See what feels right. See what makes you feel like, right? I'm not hungry, but I'm not full. I'm sitting comfortably and I'd like to go for my run. That's where you want to be feeling. And also, guys, don't neglect this one thing. As an example, if I'm training a hard session in 2 days' time, or let's say 3 days' time, because I am, then what I want you to think about is my food that I have today, tomorrow, and the next day is going to directly impact the performance of that session in 3 days' time. Your body doesn't just go, right, if it's been malnourished or not having the proper nutrition for 3 days, then you have 1 day of good nutrition. You're not going to be at your best. You need to focus on what you're doing every day. That's why this is a lifestyle to good health and good performance, and not just a fad where you have 1 day good, 1 day bad, because that's all going to impact your performance too. Okay guys, so just to round up, these are going to be the things that we need to focus on moving forward. Take a note, take a photo, record it, whatever's needed to make sure that you do it. Focus on fueling for the work that's required. If you've got a high demanding, high output session that requires a lot of energy for you, you need to be fueling that. Good amount of carbohydrates, carbs are fuel, good amount of calories. The more energy you're expending, the more energy you need to intake. Next, make sure you're having a good quality meal 3 to 4 hours before. Keep the carbohydrates high, keep the protein moderate, fats low, fiber low, and focus on foods that digest well with you. That might be trial and error, but when you find what works, stick with it. Next, make sure that 30 to 60 minutes before a session, you're having another small carbohydrate snack, just as a little bit of a top up. Keep the fiber low, fats low, protein low, just a high, easy, digestible carbohydrate source. And finally, do not neglect the days prior. Everything counts when it comes to your performance. It's not just the day of, it's the days leading up to that. And finally, guys, I just wanted to say as well, actually, whilst I'm on that note, make sure that you guys understand that even if you follow these and you do exactly what the tips I've given you today, and you apply that into your run, if your training volume is not managed properly, your sleep's poor, your stress is high, these are all going to be things that impact your running quality too. So if you guys want me to make a video on that as well, definitely let me know in the comments. And I've also got a video that I'm thinking about making around supplements, performance enhancement supplements, that can help you guys with your running performance too, and also aid for those that are looking to lose body fat, because typically that's who I coach. Many want to lose body fat and improve their training and their running as well. So I hope that helps. Final thing I was going to say, guys, is remember, I have created a guide for those that want to know exactly the types of foods to be having. I've created a big list, different recipes to be having. So if you want access to that, please just comment the word nutrition below and I'll send it over to you. And if you enjoy this style of content, all I ask is that you subscribe to my channel. I'm working hard to build this channel right now and we'll be posting every single week without fail. So please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and actually hype it as well. Apparently that really helps, so much appreciated. And share with someone you feel will get value from this too. Appreciate you all, and I'll catch you in the next video.